My name is Trevor Joseph, you're watching Rolling Slow Media, and today guys, I have a GT3 RS 991. Or is it? Take a closer look, because this actually isn't a GT3 RS. This is a Porsche Boxster which has been modified with a GT3 RS body kit. Now you're probably asking, why would you do that? Well, we're going to meet the owner today and we're going to ask him why. Because for me personally, I love project cars, but this has got to be the most extreme project car you could ever attempt. So we're going to meet with Paul, who runs a YouTube channel called Kit Cars with Paul 79, and we're going to ask him why. Why did he do this? Because it's absolutely stunning, but it's not a GT3 RS. So we'll find out why today. Stay locked guys, I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe. With that out of the way, let's go find Paul and ask him why. Today, I'm here with Paul. Paul builds kit cars, but he doesn't just build any kit cars. He's made a name for himself building some exotic replicas. And we've come today to check out not just his cars, but himself, because I want to know what kind of guy is this person to build such insane cars.
He's a very tired guy with a bad back.
So we've arrived at his house, and lovely house, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
And we're going to take a look at a car that he's currently building and one that he's already built. So let's, before we look at the car, Paul, please tell me about yourself. First off, how did you get into building replica exotic cars? Well, when did it all begin?
So I'm Paul. I'm Paul 79. I'm 6'3", slightly overweight. I'm 45, and however, I've always loved cars, and I've always loved DIY. Even at school, when I was 17, I was a typical Essex boy racer, and had a VW Polo, and souped that up. And yeah, just got into sort of cars in general. And then when I started working properly, I sort of calmed down and didn't bother. But then when I got to my 30s, and my dad was always into cars, he was a Jag man. He had 3 Jags at one point, including an E-Type. And then, I was about 30 years old, and I emailed him and I said, do you fancy building a replica supercar, like a kit car? And I forgot about the email, to be fair, and then he replied about a week later and said, yeah, all right then. So I started researching, and that's where it all started. So I started with the Ferrari F430 replica. So I built that actually at my dad's house, just down the road.
And what was the base for that car?
So that was a Toyota MR2 Mark III, so the convertible one. So yeah, bought the kit, very comprehensive kit, and then just fitted it all at dad's. Then it went to be painted, and when it came back painted, I brought it back to this house and I put it in that garage and just finished it off. And I had that for about 8 years. But the problem with that one was it wasn't very practical. Didn't really use it that much. I probably did about 250 miles a year in it. And then obviously I got the bug, and I found that there was this kit that you could do on a Porsche, and I'd always wanted a Porsche. So that's where it all started, really. So I built a GT3 replica, and that was on a Porsche Boxster 986S. And then I built the white one out the front. So that's number 3. Then I've just finished building ready for painting number 4. And then this is number 5, which is going to be electric.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is the whole point.
Wow.
I'm literally, that's why I've got
You are the most controversial guy on the planet right now. Not only are you building replica Porsches, you're about to build an electric one. And we all know how Porsche fans are very divisive
there's a lot of
cars.
purists. But to be honest with you, you know, even on the Porsche sort of forums, I've said I'm doing this, and I would say more than 75% are like, yeah, go for it. Or, You're always going to get the haters.
Exactly.
That's just the way. That's the world we live in.
But I admire your passion and your energy and enthusiasm. And the balls to just do something you've never done before. I think there's so much that people can learn, because I'm sure there's lots of people that want to try things like this, even maybe trying their own project car, but the fear of starting just sort of cripples them. But you just jump straight in, and
Yeah, well, I mean, I like doing a bit of DIY and all that, and I have a very understanding wife, bless her. Yeah, so she puts up with a lot. But no, I mean, yeah, they do take time. They take about, well, I spend about 400 hours on each car, roughly.
Really?
And the way I build it is I literally... So these are all like production cars with just glorified body kits.
Yeah,
that's all they are. So, and it's good because you still got all the inside like airbags and safety stuff. You don't really change any of the chassis. So it doesn't need a special IVA test. It's just a standard MOT. That's all you need.
Yeah.
It's good to be able to go into my man cave and do all this stuff.
That's a good segue. So let's take a look at what car you have in the man cave.
So here we go.
So this is the electric.
This will be the electric
GT3 RS.
Yeah. So
wow.
I've literally just taken out the engine yesterday.
I hope Porsche are watching because you've literally...
Oh no, I hope they're not.
You've literally beaten Porsche
well,
to the electric 911.
I haven't done it yet, but...
So what's the idea behind this electric?
Well, this car, I didn't fit the body. I basically bought it as a project that someone just couldn't finish.
Right.
And... for me, when I build the cars, I like to build it on the best donor possible. So that white one out there was a 2005 987. It had only done 30,000 miles. So I like to build it on low mileage ones. And likewise, number 4, which isn't here, that's done 35,000. So they're nice cars because I'm building them for myself, and you know, I want the best car underneath. So, but this one, it came into my possession about a year ago. The bodywork's all done, but none of it else it is. But it's quite a high mileage 2.7.
Yeah.
So the thing is I've already done a 2.7. So it's like, well, I could do it up to sell, but you know, that's 400 hours, and I won't get that time back, sort of thing. So I thought, why not do something different? I've got to always do something different. So yeah, this is the plan. So you can see by your feet there all the Tesla batteries.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's what a Tesla battery looks like. So we're going to have 14 of them going in.
Are these safe here? Like,
yeah, no, they won't blow up. Don't worry. They've sat there for 6 months, so don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't touch them. Yeah, so we've got that, and then here's the Tesla motor.
Right.
So that's what the motor is.
And
so that'll have about 500 brake horsepower.
Wow.
Yeah.
What sort of range will you get when you put these batteries in?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, no idea. I'll have a charging point at home probably. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. That's a long way off. But yeah, so the first thing I've done is I've taken all the gearbox and engine out. Never done that before.
I was going to say, so have you ever done an EV conversion? Like,
nope.
So how are you
going to do it?
Yeah. or how are you sort of learning, or what's your process in what steps to do next? Like,
well, I mean, I just do a lot of research.
Right.
You know, YouTube is obviously the place to go. I mean, and forums and stuff like that. You know, I have a lot of downtime on the when I go to work on the train, so I can, you know, read up on it. Yeah, and then just eventually get there. But the first part is obviously taking all the production, all the stuff I don't need off. So I've done the hard work, which is the engine. Next thing I've got to do is take the fuel tank out. But I finished it about 7 o'clock last night, and I'm absolutely exhausted. So yeah.
Your channel, this is your current channel's project.
Yeah. So I've sort of got 2 on the go, really.
Yeah.
I've got a normal GT3 RS replica that's being obviously painted. I've been building that for 3 years, and then yeah, just this one.
Right.
But the whole point of the channel is to show people how to do various bits so they can build their own. Yeah, yeah.
Do you? I'm sure you get a lot of comments or questions.
Yeah.
People have maybe started their own projects and then they get stuck, and they drop you messages to So
yeah, I mean,
some
not
tips and advice?
not that many to be fair, because there's not that many people building these. There's probably 3 or 4 in the UK, maybe 5 on the road, because they are. I wouldn't say they're hard to do, but they take a lot of time
Yeah.
and a lot of money up front. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I did the Ferrari, that MR2 was £3,000. Whereas to buy a decent Porsche Boxster, you're looking at least maybe 10.
Yeah.
So you got that, and then the kit is quite a lot of money, and then you have to really buy the wheels before you fit the kit, which is like £1,500. So you know, when you add it all up at the start, and then it's going to take you, say, maybe 2 years to do it. So it's a lot of money, sort of.
Where are these kits produced?
It's by a company called A New Dimension. They used to do the Ferrari replicas, but yeah, it's just a friend of mine, and yeah, just based in the UK. And it's everything apart from the doors is fiberglass.
Yeah, even the roof.
Even the roof is fiberglass. Okay. So this has had all the work done on it, all the body work done, but basically the roof is this panel here, and then these rear quarters.
Oh, so even the quarters and this. Yeah, this is all fiberglass.
It's hard to see it on this one because it's all been sort of done, but basically, you just you glue and screw it all together.
Yeah.
With screws and chewing gum. That's how it all fits together. It's certainly not bolt on. It takes a lot of work to get it right, and it's it's quite awkward because you put the two rear you bolt the bumper. You're meant to bolt the bumper to the rear quarters and lift it on like a sort of a shell.
Yeah.
But the previous owner here has managed to make it so the bumper's removable, which suits me.
So now that you've got the engine and gearbox out, it looks like you've got all the interior out.
Yeah.
What's the next step for this? Is it to fit the batteries and the motor?
So the next thing is I need to get this subframe, which is from a company called Drift Moto. So they've designed a subframe that you put the motor in, and then you bolt it to the original Boxster. And then at the front of that has the boxes for the batteries. So you have 8 in the place where the engine used to be. Yeah. 2 in the boot. Well, I'm going to put them under here because there's no exhaust anymore. So all of this area was the silencer area, so you don't need that anymore. And we put 2 or 3 in the front. I mean, in terms of what I'm going to do next, like I said, I've still got to take the petrol tank out, all the coolant, fuel lines. There's quite a lot more stripping to do.
I wonder what the weight difference will be once you've added the batteries and the motor and everything.
I think it's pretty similar to what it was originally in terms of the distribution, but we'll see. But I want to clean it all up under here, make it look pretty, because it's a 20-year-old car. Yeah. It's not going to be a 5-minute job by any means, but it's what I like doing. I'm going to put big brakes on, I've got to put coilovers on and all that sort of stuff. So all that jazz. Yeah. And then, although the body's done, I need to do the rest of the car as if it was a normal one, like all the wiring, the interior, put a roll cage in. I'll probably put a roll cage like that in. So that yellow one's going on project number 4. So the thing with these cars is it used to be a convertible. Yeah. So the reason why you use convertibles is because you can get the roof line exactly how you want. Because everyone asks me, why don't you use a Cayman? And it's because the roof line's different. And if you wanted to make the roof line right, you'd have to cut the roof, which you don't want to do. Whereas with a Boxster, you've got no roof, so you start again. That makes sense. But you have to keep the roll cage. So on that one out, so on the white one out the front, I've still just got the original Boxster roll cage, which is fine. But on number 4, I went all in and got a proper one. So these are roll cages that are just meant for Caymans. Right. And I've modified it slightly, but that's where the seat belts are going to go. Because on the Boxster roll cage, the seat belt's attached to it. And so that'll work. Got to repaint it because it's the wrong kind of yellow.
Yeah. What colour are you planning on painting this one?
Oh, well, it's got to be green because it's electric. So it'd be like Viper green. So like underneath
you beat Porsche to an electric Cayman.
So yeah, I mean, this don't really change much under here on the cars, to be fair. But yeah, we'll have batteries in there on this one. So yeah, it's a shame you last week you had the number 4 in here, so you could have actually seen it all basically built, bar being painted. But there you go.
But you've got one outside, right? So
we've got one outside, yeah. So
that's the one we're gonna take for a little test drive.
Yes.
And
I got up at 6 this morning to wash it.
Oh,
so
nice.
There you go. I hope you appreciate that.
Guys, tell me what you think of this project. I think it's absolutely insane because, one, he's about to beat Porsche to an electric Cayman.
No, 911.
911.
911.
911. Come
on. You got one of them.
He's going to actually beat Porsche to market.
Well, I don't know.
I'm also interested in, you know, what's the electric conversion is going to be like. How is it going to handle? What's its performance going to be like? What's its range going to be like? I mean, there's a lot of Tesla-powered conversions now. And what fascinates me about when people do like resto mods is, could you live with that? You know, if I resto mod a 911, is it going to perform like, you know, an old 911? Am I going to enjoy it just as much? Can I daily it? You know? So I think that's going to be the interesting question. Like, how dailyable will this be once it's finished?
Well, the white one I use every day. I go to work in it. And I had its MOT on Friday, which it passed. And in the year, I did 6,000 miles, all right? So I'd probably do about 100 miles a week just going to and from the station. So I think we'll be all right for me.
Yeah.
The thing is these cars are not probably cars you want to go on a long journey anyway. Certainly that white one, it's quite loud and all that. But yeah, I think it'll be fine for me. Probably won't be fine for everyone. But I'm not going to sell it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's build it first.
Nice. All right, let's get in the finished version.
Yeah, okay.
And
let's do that.
Take that for a spin.
Right.
Right, guys, we've just pulled up at Tesco's to grab a coffee, as you do on a weekend. And we're going to take a little walk around this GT3 RS Replica, starting with the rear, because he's got the boot open. So, because the GT3 RS is rear engine and the Boxster's mid-engine, what do we have here?
So you have a normal boot, but I've also made a fake engine cover. So that's a real 911 engine cover with a couple of fans in there and some fake oil and water caps. So I can just remove that if I want to and use it as a boot.
So what's been done interior-wise on this, or is it still...
So interior-wise, it's pretty standard Boxster, but I have changed the top dash to be a 911 one. So it's like yours.
Okay.
So that just bolts on, and I've got the 5-dial speedo as well. So that all just plugs and plays. You know, that's one of the best mods I've ever done.
And with this body being fiberglass, do you not worry about the front lip catching on speed bumps?
No, because I've fitted air ride to it. So if I hit this button, it goes up.
Nice. Is it full air suspension, or is it just that like that front
just the
lift,
front? Yeah,
front
I could have done all of them, but there's no point for the rear.
Yeah.
So if I show you in the front, show you what it is. So it looks all standard there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I lift this up, that's my tank.
Okay.
So there's just a little compressor in there. That's a tank full of air. And yeah, it just lifts the car up. You have to have coilovers on for it to work because it's a special cup.
Oh, right.
That just, you put the cup on the coilover, and then when you hit the button, it fills with air and it pushes the car up. So yeah, it's a must, because when I go to work and I park in a car park, I have to go up a big ramp. So that makes it clear then.
Does this kit also, is this kit available for front and rear? Can you have front and rear lift on coilovers?
Yeah,
as well,
because they're just, as long as you've got coilovers all around, you just fit the cups on. So yeah, so I mean, this has got PASM suspension as standard, the Boxster had.
Yeah.
So at the rear, it's still got that, whereas at the front, I've put coilovers on to enable the air ride.
And what's the brand of airlift?
Stance Parts.
Stance Parts.
Yeah, I think they're based in Europe, but there's a UK distributor as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy some soon anyway for the electric one, so I'm gonna have to fit it there. So.
And what size are these wheels? Are they?
So they're 20s all around.
Yeah.
So the real RS has 21s at the rear, 20s at the front, and then the tyres are the same spec as the real GT3 991.
Right.
So it's getting close. Obviously, I haven't got centre locks.
Yeah.
And then I've just put big brakes on the front and the rear, bigger than the standard ones.
Were these brakes off a later model?
No, that's just a kit. They're just you know, an aftermarket big brake kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good. You get the discs, and then you get this bracket that you attach to the hub, that then you put the caliper on that makes it space it out so you can fit the discs on. But I've gone even bigger on project number 4.
Yeah.
Even bigger. So they're just 6 pots at the front. I think they're 4 at the back. But yeah, it's just for the look really, but they are good. They do work. So
when you're driving, do you, and because when I was on my way here, I could hear a lot of supercars in the background. There's a lot of supercars around here,
it's
right?
Sunday, isn't it? You know, there's car shows and stuff.
Do you get people wanting to race you?
Not supercars, no. You often get
people in.
You get a nod. You get a nod. It's a lot of bikers actually. A lot of motorbikers give me the nod.
Yeah.
I assume that means that they like the car, or I haven't really looked that up. But no. Yeah, you get the odd boy racer, you know, trying to bait you. But, you know, I just pretend I'm too grown up for that sort of silly stuff. Much more mature.
All right, guys, we're going to finish our coffees and then we're going to go out for a little spin in this. Okay, this is my first time in is it 987?
987, yeah.
987 Boxster with a GT3 RS body. Here's my question. Is this more GT3 RS than 987, or is it more 987 than GT3 RS? What's the...
probably on the outside, it's probably about approximately 83% GT3 RS. And on the inside, it's more Boxster with a bit of 997.
Do you plan on continuing the theme of the GT3 RS in
on the
interior?
Inside?
Is there anything that you would...
No, so I mean, you could do, but with the later Porsches, the console comes up here. It would mean sort of changing all the handbrake and the gear stick. The thing for me is I like it looking like it on the outside, but on the inside I just want it to look nice and work. I mean, when I built my Ferrari, like the interior looked nice, but it didn't really look like the real thing. But then I'm not going to bother wasting time and money getting real Ferrari window switches, because I just want them to work, you know? And most people don't know what the inside of a Ferrari looks like. So there you go.
we was at the petrol station earlier, and someone came up to you and did they believe, were they convinced it was a GT3 RS, or?
It varies, because some of them think it's a real one. I never pretend it's a real one. I always tell them what it is. I mean, I just started the conversation because he said he had a Boxster exactly like this, and I said, oh well, this is one as well. So, and then he was a bit like, oh well, it looks very nice, and that was it. And then other people are like, oh my god, it's amazing, and blah blah blah, and ask you loads of questions about it, and that's it. So it does vary. I've never had someone say they hate it. Yeah, but a lot of people ask, why bother? A lot of people say, you might as well just bought a real one. And I go, well, okay, I can't afford a real one. And this was a lot cheaper, so.
You mentioned off camera that if people have asked you to build cars for them, but you think it's not worth it.
Well, first of all, I have a day job, and I like that day job. Yeah, it's hard work. I haven't got the space to do it. You see my garage earlier. It's quite small. Maybe when I retire from the day job, I will fiddle about with cars. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no, I'm not.
So this is just a hobby.
This is just quite an expensive, extreme hobby. I'd rather do this than play golf. So, although if you'd asked me that yesterday when I was taking that engine out, oh God.
Was that the first time you'd attempted to remove an engine?
Yeah. So
because these cars, like, the engine's in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, a front engine car where you can just lift it out. Like, how difficult was that? Do you have a video on that on your channel?
I'm about to release it today, where I sort of go through. You just have to disconnect a lot of things, and then sort of I have a table that I lowered it down onto.
Right.
But yeah, my ramp wasn't the best ramp to use because it was getting caught on the edge of the ramp, and it was a bit of a nightmare in the end. But it's out, so I'm just pleased about it.
So your ramp gets the car high enough for you to get the engine out?
Yeah. Right. The problem with the ramp is, you know, when you go in a garage and they have the post ramps, and they have the arms that just come out. Yeah. Well, my ramp's not like that. My ramp is a scissor ramp. Yeah. So it's just got big metal plates that you drive over, and they were getting in the way. So, but yeah, I managed it in the end. All on my own, I might add.
That's impressive.
My wife was going, "What are you doing?"
But do you ever get her to help you out?
Nothing. I asked her, I said, come and help me take the engine
can you hold this?
She's not interested. She tolerates this hobby for long enough, and
at least she knows where you are. Like, you know, you're stuck in the garage. Just keep an eye on you.
I've actually got a doorbell in there, so in the house, so she rings it and summons me when she needs me to come in. So I have to change the batteries quite frequently on that doorbell. No, I love her. My beautiful wife. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start a project car? Not necessarily a kit build as extreme as this, but someone who is thinking that they want to do a project car, but maybe they're not too sure where to start. What advice would you give to a would-be project?
I mean, first of all, don't underestimate the time that things take. Be prepared, you know, for because often you'll probably take quite an old car. Yeah. And those nuts and bolts will be very rusty. Don't underestimate how useful all the tools are. Yeah. It just saves you so much time. Obviously you have to have a bit of money to do it, and contingency plans, because things always cost more than you think. But above all, just be organised when you're doing it, and enjoy it, because if you get frustrated, and that's the thing, you will, building one of these, you will get frustrated, you will get annoyed, and that's the time just to shut the garage door and step away for a bit. You know? And you have to be in the right frame of mind. I mean, when I did the Ferrari, it was around my dad's, so it wasn't always on my doorstep, so I organised, I went over every Thursday evening and every one day of the weekend. And I really enjoyed that, and it was almost like, oh yeah, I really want to get this finished, but don't rush it. You don't want to rush them. But then the one since then, because I've had this Ferrari, I know what it's like to have a nice looking car. You don't want to rush them as much, and just enjoy it really. And just sort of take your time with it, and ask for help. Because I'll always try and help people.
Guys, we've reached the end of the video. I want to say big thanks to Paul for giving me some of his time today. Guys, make sure you subscribe to his channel and subscribe to mine as well if you like this sort of content. If you've made it this far, then you have to subscribe, because I know how people like to drop off at the beginning of a video. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. My name is Trevor Joseph. This is Paul.
79.
79.
Bye!
And you've been watching Rolling Slow Media. Cheers. Last one, Paul.
Cheers,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.